Village People are suing Disney World, and the lawsuit is being brought by the wife of the lead singer and co-founder, Victor Willis. She is the manager of the Village People's trademark for live performances. Now, Victor is the sole original member of the group who still performs under the Village People name. He co-wrote and sang on most of the group's classic albums and hit singles. YMCA, Macho Man, In the Navy. That's all Victor Willis. So the Village People were booked in for a performance at Walt Disney World in Florida in 2018 to bring the Village People magic, with many of those positions and roles within the band that had been lost to history because band members had passed away. They continued with new members taking up the baton of performance. And they've been performing at Disney World for about a decade, Kim. But the manager and wife of Victor Willis alleges that the 2-day performance there at Disney World went poorly for the first time in years. They'd always had good luck, but they had a bad outing. And apparently the sound wasn't good. She says the audio was all messed up. And a Disney employee supposedly blocked her from entering the audio booth to correct the audio problem. She says that the band's time at Disney World was marked by being attacked by overzealous fans who she claims were planted at the park by a group of feuding ex-Village People members.
Wow.
So within the Village People, there's the kind of internecine squabbling that has led to a Village People throwdown at the happiest place on earth.
Why are you yelling?
It's a complicated twist, Kim. But this lead singer, who really left the Village People after the group's early success, but then returned to live performances in 2017, has been involved in lawsuits with the group's record label, the production company, to give him the right to perform with a new group under the Village People name. So that group had been performing as the Village People for decades at that point, which included several dancing and singing members of the Village People that were again, put back in various roles. And again, Willis is the lead vocalist, all right? So she's saying in this suit with Disney that the members who were cast out of the Village People were feuding with her husband, and they were among dangerous fans at Disney World who attacked both her and Victor, the lead singer.
Wow.
Again, unclear that she has evidence to back this up, Kim. But she says that the Village People's contract stipulates that they be given extra security. She says Disney did not provide that. So you may think, well, this is going to be tough to prove, and you would be right. There seems to be questionable evidence. However, that is not the biggest issue. The biggest issue with this Village People lawsuit is that they were never paid. Disney sent checks out for the show. Supposedly, these checks were made out to the wrong people or groups or entities. So Victor and the Village People couldn't get the money that they were owed. She says that when she and Victor told Disney about this problem, they brushed it off. And it's unclear that new checks were ever sent, Kim. Following this bad performance, the lawsuit is saying that Disney didn't book the Village People in the 6 years since that show, despite having booked the group annually for years before that. She says in this lawsuit with Disney that she believes Disney is intentionally not booking the group as retaliation for the substandard performance that the group had that one weekend. Disney is trying to get the case dismissed.
Maybe there's just too many problems with the Village People. It sounds like they got a lot of drama going on there. Maybe Disney was just like, you know what? We're just going to back away from you guys for now.
Well, I will tell you something. I'm kind of on Disney's side on this. They don't have to book the Village People. Great. You had a great run with the Village People. We don't book you anymore. You're just not who we want to book anymore. Why aren't they allowed to take that position? I don't understand it. By the way, though, there must be something to this. I mean, at least enough that a judge who was listening to the Disney arguments for dismissing the case, the judge said, no, I'm not dismissing the case. I'll hear this case. So the lawsuit will be able to continue against Disney. It's for $20 million. But yeah, I don't get why they're not allowed to hire and unhire whoever they want. You know,
Who's your favorite Village person?
Oh,
You have
that's
a favorite?
great question.
Yeah, Mark, you kept on referring Victor Willis as the lead singer. He's also the cop and admiral, just by the way.
Oh, he is the cop and admiral. Very good knowledge from Albert.
Also, to
thank
Disney's
you. Yeah.
defense, there's just too many members and too many rotating members in terms of the checks. I'm sure they're very confused on who's getting a check or not.
That is true. Do you just write the check to the Indian in Village People? Right.
We'll take care of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Indian. For those just listening, we have it up here. It's Indian, hard hat guy, cowboy, cop. What is that guy with the handlebar mustache? What is he? Leatherman, maybe?
Leatherman, yes.
Yeah. And then what is that? Army? Is
Yeah.
that who yeah.
Or
Army.
military member. Yeah.
Military member. So, you know, I hate to say this, Leatherman looks to me like a lot of, you know, what I saw on Polk Street in the 80s in San Francisco.
He's a
You know what
Folsom
I mean?
Street Fair fellow. Yeah.
Yeah, I really kind of like
Yeah.
him. I hate to say it. You know, maybe if I were gay, like that would be the kind of guy I'd go for. One of those leather guys, like a real tough guy with the handlebar mustache.
I like construction worker or Native American fellow.
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Strong. Construction worker, yeah, good. The Native American, yeah. I called him Indian. I'm sure there are a bunch of people at my A right now. You, Mark, he's not an Indian. Well, they called him the I word back in the day, so that's why. Yeah. Now, Albert, who's gay and who's straight, please?
Google it.
Okay. You can Google it. It will tell you. I've done it before. We
Maybe
did
move
this
on.
segment on KGO.
I do have a full timeline of every single member that I found and what years they were in the group or not. And Victor Willis is there at the top.
Well, it's great that Victor has made it as long as he has. It sounds like he has one less gig to add to his schedule.
They are bookable, though. I did find their website. I did find their contact, and Karen Willis is the contact. So, if
What
they ever
is
wanted-
the price, I wonder, to book the Village People? What do you think it would be?
We should book the Village People for the next Mark Thompson gathering.
Yeah, I'm up for a virtual meetup. Maybe they're not as expensive.
We can do it by Zoom. Yeah, Zoom's fine.
Yeah, Zoom numbers are probably a little bit lower. Anyway, good luck, Village People, gay and straight. We love you all, and we miss you. All right. Now, one thing that's insane, and it's happening all over, but man, we see it in the Bay Area in California in such a huge, ugly way, is the sideshow stuff. You know, that sideshow that hit the eastern span of the Bay Bridge?
Last weekend was nuts.
Yeah. They couldn't even get to it because there were so many cars on the bridge, so the cops couldn't even get to it, and they tried to chop her in with one of those police helicopters, and they were hit with all these lasers.
They had a fireworks show. The people at this in the sideshow were firing fireworks 30 feet up into the air. Look at that.
Yeah.
As if it's some type of fair celebration. What?
Well, you know where I am on this. I'd arrest everybody I could, and it would be serious, man. It would be serious. You mess with this, you mess with people's ability to get from here to there. I think it's a degree of mayhem that's intolerable, and I crack back on it hard. So the problem is maybe we've discussed, you need a lot of police presence to actually do what I've just described. You can imagine you'd need a couple of hundred officers maybe to actually bring about the kind of narrative that I just described. But it is completely unacceptable. And even if you just grab whoever you can grab and prosecute, I think you do knock down the possibility of this happening. It's way out of control. You cannot.
It's totally
and
out of
people
control.
people get hurt and even killed during all of this.
Yeah.
So that's the latest. And there was another one in Vallejo, and they're having them all the time. Copper thieves in the Bay Area cut 16,000 wires and knock out 911 service for 3 Bay Area cities.
Oh, that's nice. Put life at risk just because you want the wire. Great.
The 911 lines in Pinot, Hercules, and San Pablo went down again. It was an attempt to steal more copper. The Pinot cops said that officers caught 3 thieves in the act. 2 of them, 31-year-old man from Hayward and a 49-year-old from Richmond, were arrested.
A crime that you have so much disregard for society, you know? I mean, it's not just you're stealing something for yourself. You're like, screw everyone else. Honestly.
There is an aspect of what Kim is saying that is so true.
Kim, how are you?
In fact, I would suggest that a lot of the ripoffs, the swarming ripoffs, the smash and grabs, even the mayhem may fall into a category. This is part of a much bigger conversation, and I actually was just talking about booking someone on this. I've got a couple of really special guests coming up in the future on this kind of thing. It's those who don't feel they have a stake in society anymore. So when you feel you don't have a stake in society, you don't have a stake in order, you don't have a stake in what you're living in, the community, it essentially, consciously or unconsciously, permits any number of things to happen. Behavior on your part is far more wide open. And I think that you make a good point. It's like they just don't feel the laws apply to them because they don't feel as though they have a stake in what's going on. But all of this falls into a level of lawlessness that is brutal. And it, again, it creates an unsafe society. That's Law and Disorder.
Tune in again next time for more Law and Disorder on The Mark Thompson Show.
All right, that's it. Let's roll. Hey, let's be careful out there.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.